Okay.
Oh, Yonkers.
Yeah.
Yonkers what? I can't see the bottom line.
Yonkers Spirit.
Yonkers
I
Pride.
see it now. Yeah. Hail School of Yonkers High onto the fray.
The funniest thing is that everybody who looks at it sees Yankees first,
Ah,
including me. When I saw it on the rack, I figured it was the Yankees shirt. I bought it, and then I realized it was Yonkers.
did you get the photograph of the football team from '56 from Kenny?
No, I didn't
Oh,
get that.
oh,
All right.
yeah.
If you
Kenny
have it,
called
if you have it, just send it to me.
I may have erased it yesterday because they said my
Okay.
my computer was too clogged, but I can have Kenny send it, of course. But
Okay. Very
he
good.
calls me every few weeks just to stay in touch. So we're all in touch. And I talked to Granny and a couple of the other guys too.
Very good.
Very cool. All right, you guys. Well, we're here for our study of A Course in Miracles, and we have uh, Iris and Devin and Ricky and Rafi and Elizabeth and Dove. And so welcome everyone. Yes, Iris, would you like to pray us in, please?
Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, all. And yes, I'll pray us in. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. So we are, I think we finally have made it to the special principles of miracle workers in our book. And so these are things that Jesus has given us that we just went through the function of the miracle worker. And now we're looking at the special principles that that we as miracle workers can and do share. So who would like to read paragraph 1?
I'll take it.
Okay.
The special principles of miracle workers. The miracle abolishes the need for lower order concerns. Since it is an out of pattern time interval, the ordinary considerations of time and space do not apply. When you perform a miracle, I will arrange both time and space to adjust to it. And there it is. We are infinitely, divinely, constantly, lovingly supported every step of the way. It's right there.
Yeah, this is a pretty intense idea. Abolishes the need for lower order concerns. What is Jesus talking about? Lower order concerns. He mentions time and space. What is it? What are these lower order concerns that we are so concerned with that the miracle just says you don't have to worry about that. It's covered. It's taken care of. Has anybody
Ego,
ever?
ego mind.
Yeah,
That's
ego
lower
mind.
order. Ego mind. All of that big quantity.
So, what would be an example? Does anybody have an example? I have an example just really quickly. Um, Time. Uh, all lower order concerns are anything that has to do with the body, has to do with our survival as a body, our recreation as a body, our just everything. I'm thinking I've had a few time related miracles that people may not really recognize, but I do. One in particular, I'll just mention. Well, I was thinking of two different ones, but this second one is what I think is probably the most crazy miraculous. All right, I went to a conference, a workshop, and it was I think in Richmond. It was in Virginia somewhere. Anyway, went to this workshop, and there were a lot of other great people there. There were some really good teachers, and it was a terrific uh, thing. So at the end of it, we all had to go back to wherever we were. We went to the airport right there in that little town, and then we had to fly into Atlanta to make our connections to go to our bigger cities like Denver or Chicago or wherever. So, so this was a small airport, but not too small. It was fairly. It wasn't it was fairly good size. It had quite a few um, uh, gates. So we all arrived at the airport at the same time, and we were concerned about making our flights because we were just a little bit short on time. And so the flight to Atlanta was going to be taking off. And so, we all start moving toward the gate, which is, quite a ways up, quite a while up. And I um, see this elderly lady who is having difficulty. And so I stopped to ask her, can I help you? She said she doesn't know how to get to her gate. She doesn't, she's confused. And so I thought, well, I may miss my flight and I probably will miss my flight, but this lady needs my help. And so I stopped and I went with her. I helped her to her gate, showed her, how to get checked in, etc., all that stuff. And then I thought, well, I guess, I already probably missed my flight. So I then, just kind of leisurely walked up toward my gate. And I get up to my gate, and sure enough, the people that I was with were not there. So I figured, okay, they, excuse me, already got on their flight and they're gone. And so I just sat down to wait. I don't know what the heck. But then I looked up, and here these people who I had been with when I first came into the airport are running up to the gate, running up to the gate. And they saw me sitting there at the gate, and they said, "How did you get here so fast?" And I was like, I thought I was late. I wasn't huffing and puffing. I wasn't running. I just was leisurely walking around the airport, showing the lady how to get to her gate, leisurely walking up to my gate. There wasn't anybody there to talk to, so I didn't go up and try to make a change or whatever. I figured, just take a minute because it's going to be a while before there's another flight to Atlanta. I already missed my flight, etc. These people were running through the airport that entire time. And to me, that was a miracle. It was completely out of pattern time. It completely was, time and space did not apply. And it was adjusted, as far as I can tell, uh, adjusted by Jesus or the Holy Spirit. Which was, pretty phenomenal. So I don't know if anybody has any other thoughts about that, but it's almost like the miracle they talk about in the Bible in the Old Testament of um, the oil in the lamp, that they only had enough oil for one day, but because of the miracle, they had the lamp for 8 days. Was it 8 days? So it extended far beyond, or Jesus, when
Yes, it was
yeah.
faith days. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, or Jesus when he was with on the Sermon on the Mount, when he had, a couple of, baskets of loaves and fishes and was able to feed the multitude of over 5,000 people and still have 12 baskets left over. This is what he's talking about. It is the consideration of time and space do not apply. And this principle of miracle workers is, I think, something that we should learn to call on, look for. I do it all the time. I always am looking, Jesus, show me the miracle here, because, I may not have enough to buy a loaf of bread, but all of a sudden I'll find a dollar bill on the ground. That kind of thing happens all the time to me. So, don't start sending me money. I have enough money for bread. That's just a that's just a point of how, it has nothing to do with me. I'm being taken care of. Rafi, please go ahead.
Yeah, don't take anybody's word for it. Prove it to yourself. You just proved it to yourself. It's so obvious that there it is. There's that divine protection, the divine guidance, the divine providing. It's always there. It happens to me all the time too. Even something as simple as a parking space. When I'm pulling into, a place, or pulling up to a place, I just say being this, a parking space, safe, close, free, legal, and convenient. Thank you. And sure enough, I mean, it's as simple as that. Walk into a place, give everybody love, and people go out of their way to do nice things for me. A lady at a supermarket who was behind the checkout counter checking people out, and there were like 8 people online. I said, "Excuse me, I can't open this cabinet to get the toothpaste. Could you send somebody over?" She stopped what she was doing. She came over, got a key, went to the a desk, got a key, came, unlocked this case so I could get a tube of toothpaste, locked it up, and went back and then brought me to the front of the line and checked me out. And there were still 8 people standing in line. I didn't ask for any of that, and this sort of thing happens all the time. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, miracles. I hate to say it's ordinary, but it's ordinary.
Absolutely. It's the normal, natural way of being. It's natural. Things are the way is made smooth for us, and we are given what we need. Iris, please go ahead.
Wow, thank you, Lynn. I really love this conversation. It's very interesting. I was going to say very enlightening. And it's true, because uh like Jesus does say somewhere in the course that time and space are under my control. So whatever we think, and uh the physical world is an interpretation. And we sometimes think that things are completely set in stone, and things have to follow a kind of a logic, quote, logic. But the world of God is not subject to a small, limited interpretation of the human mind. And it's really important, like what Lynn shared, it's really important to remember this, that literally anything is possible. And I had just a small a very interesting experience yesterday, which was I was at the supermarket, like Rafi mentioned. I went to get some things, and there was a lady there, and she paid in the automated machine, and she paid for her her stuff, and like she started walking away, and she left some things just as I was gonna follow in the machine to like check out my stuff. And so like I just took her things, what she left, and I went to give it to her. And I walked behind her and she'd gone further, and then like I went and I followed her, and I just said, excuse me, you forgot this. You forgot this. It was just something small. And I just looked at her and I just kind of had this feeling like, oh, like this is what the Christ is. Like I'm looking at the Christ. And when the body's eyes is looking at just objects, we miss it completely. And like somehow like our awareness just goes into like a very small kind of narrow understanding of what we are looking at. And like, and then I realized that, oh, that is like, I just had this moment with that lady. She just said thank you, and thank you for, you know, bringing my things. And like um and I just, for what, that 1 second, I just felt like, uh oh, the Christ is everywhere. It's not something that I have to look for. It just is everywhere. And then I just kind of gave her things, and then I went back. And that was like, I was thinking about it, and uh I just really kind of got a little bit of a clue. And that's it. And I'll hand back to Lynn.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, Iris. Yeah, you were the miracle there. That's yeah, that's what we are. I love it. And you had a holy instant with a person, a holy encounter. I love that. Thank you, Iris. Devin, please go ahead.
Hello. Yes, it's a beautiful thing just to see, as you can kind of hear, when we're focused on the joining, when we're focused on connecting with people and experiencing just what love is, like with the relationship, then that, we're not focused on, say, lower order concerns, is, to me, is being focused on, essentially experiencing a physical miracle, which in a way walking would be a miracle at a time. My baby just learned how to crawl, and she finds it miraculous that she can get across the room. So at the time, for her perspective, it is pretty miraculous, huh? But then, it's, once you kind of learn past it and you start your ascending or transcending these lower order concerns, you're evolving, expanding, greater, bigger. Your perspective's getting larger than, say, crawling or walking. These are simple things now, and so you're moving beyond them. And so as we're learning how to join with spirit and recognize Christ and recognize what God is, and even you're learning to focus on the love in the relationship, but instead of those other things that could just come naturally. So we're all growing and expanding as we're doing that. We're willing to see that there's something more to focus on. We're not concerned about our cells dividing anymore to make fingers. We're not we're not concerned with growing in the same way as a fetus is, even though who's to say if they actually are. But we our minds are focusing on higher things, or greater things, or however you define those, just kind of naturally as we're learning and expanding. And so in this case, as we're learning to focus on love and with his relationships, I would say that we're attempting, even as Iris was just saying, to focus and recognize that Christ is everywhere, that all relationships, all love is about joining with Christ. And can I recognize what Christ is? And to put that first, then nothing else is concerned. Uh, Essentially, everything happens naturally in a way that it's all fluid and perfectly in order and set up and designed and already. But where are you perceiving is where you see your effort needed. And so, where do you put yourself in your perception is completely different than the fact that if it's actually needed there, you believe that it's needed by where you are seeing yourself placed, where you see yourself as a body, then you feel like you need to concern yourself with the body. If you see yourself, in looking for love, yeah, we see that it's necessary for us to find. Don't rip it up. It's necessary for us to do something. Oh, I got to do something for it. It's interesting with hero origin stories, like superhero origin stories. All of a sudden, they have all these bad guys in the world. You're ripping it up, baby. All of a sudden, there's all these problems, and they got to fix them, and they got to save everybody. They got to protect them as if they weren't there before. It's like now their focus is on being a hero, and every hero needs villains and problems to protect people from. So it is expanding, but they're all lessons on how to expand more, how to expand more. So thank you.
Thank you. Yep, and exactly it. Hey, Regis. Hi, sweetheart. So yeah, so the miracle, it is our natural right. It's what we do naturally. Um, and that's what happens when he says, when you've learned to think with me, you will have to do nothing. It'll be like being carried down a path on a summer day. That's really what's happening here is that we're moving into uh, a miraculous time and space, which is no time, no space, and just the Christ. So yeah, beautiful. And I love your superhero Genesis because yes, it just reminded me of if I defend myself, I'm attacked. There's which came first, the villain or the superhero? The superhero makes it possible for all these villains to be here because now he's got something to do with his superpowers. So I love it. This illusion is just crazy. Anybody else have anything on the first special principle of miracle workers? Okay, the miracle worker doesn't have to worry about time or space or matter. I don't have enough of the miracle worker has more than enough of everything. There is no not enough smallness included in miracle working 101. Or 11:1. Who would like to read paragraph 2 or the second principle of miracle workers?
I'll read it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Is that where it says 12 and then 2?
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Okay. A clear distinction between what is created and what is made is essential. All forms of healing rest on this fundamental correction in level perception. So only God can create. So it's saying a clear distinction between what is created and what is made is essential. So the made to me would be the distinction between the ego and what God created. So it's right-minded thinking towards the ego. And it's saying that all forms of healing rest on this fundamental correction in level perception. So it's coming, everything's coming from our perception. So your perception is when you're looking, you're the decision maker, and then you're looking. So at that point, you're lifting up the veil.
Yeah, at that point, you can see the difference between what is created and what is made. What is the difference between what is created and what is made? This is Jesus giving us a real clear picture. The things that we made are the body, the world. There is no world. That's the central theme this course is supposed to tell us. And that we do create, we as spirit are co-creators with God, but we as ego are makers of a world. So he's asking us what's a clear distinction between what is created and what is made. Uh, and so think about it, if you're sick, or if you're hungry, or if you're tired, or if you're cold, or whatever the state that you may be experiencing the body in, that's an artificial state. That's a made state. It's not a real state. If I'm thinking that I am I am really sick, or I'm really cold, or I'm really tired, or I'm really hungry, I'm thinking who is thinking that is the ego, not the it's the body, not the spirit of what I am, which cannot be sick, tired, hungry, cold, any of those things, is always in great joy because of my connection to God. So so then, why then, and I would love to hear some input. Why then would all forms of healing rest on this fundamental correction in level perception? All forms of healing rest on the fundamental correction in level perception. What needs to be healed? Dove, did you want to say something? Please go ahead. Oh, Iris has her hand up too.
Thank you, Lynn. And I remember the masters like Jesus, and I remember like Autobiography of a Yogi from Yogananda, and like I have this idea that like they knew without a shadow of any doubt, no doubt at all. They just knew, and they just knew who they were, and they knew that they weren't the physical body. They knew that. And with that knowledge, anything is possible. And like in that book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, like there are all these like mystics that they do what an average person would consider to be really superhuman things, and but for them it was just something like that they do every day. It was nothing special. And so I think it's the awareness without any doubt that of our true nature that makes this possible. It makes anything possible. And I think that's where I think everything is headed, that we know without even a little bit of doubt, because fear arises when there's doubt. And like Jesus says, there are two emotions, love and fear. And fear would only arise when there is doubt, when there is an unsureness about what we are. But when we are 100% sure, like 1,000% sure that I am one self, united with my creator, like lesson 95, like there is no separation. There will be nothing to fear. Like in lesson 48, there is nothing to fear, and this is a fact. And that's what came to mind. And I'll hand back to Lynn.
Wow. Yes. Thank you, Iris. That was really, really beautiful and really gets right to the point that, when I am as I truly am, that's what allows the fundamental shift. So yeah, that's right, straight to the point. Dove, did you want to say something? Oh,
Yeah, I just wanted to say, with regard to those thoughts you were talking about earlier, he's never really talking about the body, which is why the body uh, feelings aren't really ever mentioned. He does use the word exhausted. Mind that's always judging is exhausted from judging. And I don't know if that helps.
okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, that's what he's talking about here. The difference between what is created and what is made. What is created is from God, what is made is of the body, and that knowing the difference between God made this and I made this, or the body made this, is the fundamental correction that needs to happen. Devin, please take that mic, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I just dropped the bottle. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like bringing up what Dove was mentioning there with judgment, and it does. I think it's in place of exactly where we're going. What is this about? Like what is judgment? And we often, especially newcomers in the course, still thinking judgment has something to do with like judging people as being, ugly or not as cool as you or something, or you're smarter or anything like that. And judgment, like in the ability to judge, is to think of anything as different. So it's coming in that sense of the order of difficulties and recognizing the order of difficulties. If I have a concept of the order of difficulties, then entirely do I have the ability to judge. I have to be able to judge them as different. And my ability, I judge, I'm not capable of moving mountains. I'm capable of moving a rock. I'm not capable of moving mountains. They're different. I judge them different and I see them different. So of course I would be exhausted to even if I say how to move a mountain is one rock at a time. Yeah, eventually, I mean, I wouldn't make it very far still, but getting really exhausted because I believe I'm doing something, and to do something requires the ability to judge if I am a body, even as uh, Iris was saying about Yogananda and stuff. If I am the body doing it, then yes, I would be struggling a whole lot with essentially everything I'm doing because I am the one doing it. I am the one doing it. And so this whole process of as we're learning to become miracle workers, what we are doing is really learning to act in a world or be aware of the reality in which is beyond all doing. And yeah, it it's all been talked about before, and what is being and that experience, and but to how can you let yourself do things or just happen to occurrences from your body or from your what seems like you or around you, opposed to insisting that you are doing it or not, and they are losing their tablets. Thank you.
Yeah, wow, that was really beautifully said there, Devin. And that's it. It really is just how we're seeing it as to we're either seeing it through the Christ mind or we're seeing it through the ego. And through the Christ mind, everything is perfect. And through the ego, there are lots of problems. So all that deciding, choosing, trying to figure things out, all of it unnecessary completely. Because through the Christ mind, through the Christ eyes, we see that nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. I love it. So let's see. Let's go on to number 3 here. Who would like to read number 3? I like this one too. I like them all. These are like what do you call them? Almost like koans or riddles. You gotta you gotta really look at it to figure out what they're saying. Go ahead, Michaela.
Okay, I'll read number 3 for you, Lynn, if you'd like again. This one. Number 3, never confuse right and wrong-mindedness. Responding to any form of error with anything except a desire to heal is an expression of this confusion. So it's saying that you have to respond with a desire to heal. Anything else is an expression of confusion towards right or wrong. Never confuse right and wrong-mindedness. So anytime, because anything else would be coming from the ego. So you have to respond with that desire. So to me, desire comes from intent. And intent would be right-mindedness, your right-mindedness, that you're coming from that.
All right. Thank you, Michaela. Yes. So whatever it is that I see, how do I respond to it? And if I respond to it in a way of, I want to fix that, I want to change that, I want to punish that, I want to, whatever it is, that's not right-mindedness. That's not a desire to heal. That's a desire to correct something that we see as broken. And that's a completely different desire. Rafi, please go ahead, and then Iris after.
Yeah, what this brought up for me was that the responding to any form of error. Well, that's the simplest thing. I left the oven on. I made a wrong. I made an illegal turn. I I drop and broke a vase. Whatever it is, those things. And as soon as that happens, if you're in your mind, the first thing that happens is, you start you beat yourself up. Oh, what a jerk I am! How could I do something as stupid? And you get into all of this self criticism and this beating yourself up and it just perpetuates everything. It tries to make that wrong-mindedness thing, for want of a better word, right. You are a jerk. You are stupid. You make all these mistakes. There's something wrong, and you're into that constant self-disapproval over and over again. If you catch it right away, you realize, wait a minute, I'm infinite. Okay, God doesn't criticize. It only left, so there's no condemnation here. All of this stuff is coming from my mind. If you step back and just discriminate and separate the two from one is right, the right mindedness and wrong mindedness, then you're in a place where you can look at it and go, okay, what's really going on here? And then get to the feelings and whatever it is and let them go. So you're coming from a place of clarity, you're coming from a place of peace, you're coming from a place of divine understanding rather than being confused with all of this mental nonsense that is going to continue to perpetuate itself because suffering is all it knows. And criticism and negativity and moodiness and reactive, that's what it knows. And it's a machine. It's not what we are. And it's going to just keep doing it automatically and automatically until you make that discernment that, wait a minute, hold on. Let's stop this right here and now. Get into the now. Get into the truth of what I really am and use all of that healing love to take care of that other stuff so that it dissolves and evaporates. And we all have that power because it is in every. How many times have we said today that the Christ power is everywhere? There's no place that it is not. And so we are that. And it's available to us constantly. And it's there always. That divine infinite love is there always helping. Everything is working for us, not against us. And this is a perfect way. This little two or three sentence thing is a clear way of actually seeing that in its correct light. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Rafi. And yeah, just to ask yourself on any occasion, what do I want to come of this? Or how would the Holy Spirit have me address this? And you won't have that confusion. Iris, please go ahead.
Thank you, Lynn. And I was just loved what Rafi shared just now. It made really a lot of sense. Like I was just gonna say exactly I think the same kind of thing, but like a desire to heal is a desire responding to any form of error with anything except a desire to heal is an expression of this confusion. So like a desire to heal is to see truly, to see truly. And I can't see truly if like I'm confused, which happens all the time. Like I'm also confused that I'm a human. But like it's kind of like the only thing is that I have to let it go. And like I've been doing this release technique still, and I just really love it. And it's just so massively, hugely helpful. And like, and it's kind of like whatever it is, wherever I think I see error, wherever that I think I see error, like the lady yesterday that I saw, and I could sense like she was headed towards the hospital. And I was thinking like, maybe she's suffering, or maybe there's somebody there that, and later today I was thinking like, no, that is my own suffering reflected there. It's never about them. It's always about me. And like when we do like the releasing of our thoughts, and we are changing our perception, like giving it to God and having God change our view, and or letting go of those feelings of fear or anger or sadness or whatever it is. Like the only answer is let it go. And like this week I saw like how a human like is so governed by their feelings, like, and it's like even letting go of not only the painful ones like the fear feelings, but even letting go of the good feelings, because they're all feelings and I'm not this feeling. Like when I look at this sentence and it says like responding to any form of error with anything except a desire to heal. This whole thing about the confusion, like it just comes to mind. Like there is nobody out there to heal. I have to heal my own mind. Like when I say mind, I mean like just capital M mind, from like this obsession with like thoughts and feelings, like that make us believe that we are a body when we are not. And we are that all. And I thought it's very difficult, but it's not. It's just let it go. And not tomorrow, like just let it go, like now. And yeah, and that's what came to mind. And I'll hand back to Lynn.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Iris, and of course that release technique. Thank you, Rafi, is so helpful to so many people. Not that you're responsible for it, but you did bring it to us, and you have used it with us, and I think that's just been really helpful. Let it go, let it go. Uh, and so yeah, Devin, please go ahead.
Yeah, I always like this. I mean, as far as something I was taking to heart a lot on my travels and everything, I was seeking to heal my mind. I wanted to, discover the truth and discover this reality, recognize God or whatever it might be. But to respond anything with any other need uh, than healing was a huge, huge part of it, and still is. That if I really want to know the truth, if I really want to experience the truth, I have to take it to 100% on everything I possibly can. And it's okay to have sometimes, I'm not willing to go there quite yet, but the more of those you give, the less you're actually going to achieve it. Every time you think there's someone out there or something out there that's like, something I do is like reserve it for Course in Miracles students, and I only talk about this stuff with people that are willing to learn about spirituality and stuff, and then I reserve it as my lesson. um it Anybody that accepts me as a student or as a teacher, then I'm willing to point out to them that they're avoiding the healing and such like that. But anybody that otherwise, um it's always my lesson, even with the student. It's just kind of a weird way to say it, but it's always my lesson. I'm always the one trying to heal. And so any way of responding with anything in a way that isn't essentially humbling to me, or somehow helping me see the past relevance that I'm associating to this, or the pain that I'm feeling, if I ever think that it is somehow uh, how they do things, or how, I don't like how they talk, or they're so arrogant, or narcissist, popular word nowadays, or anything like that, then I have surrendered my healing, which I've given up on myself, and worshiped this concept of whatever it is that I perceive them to be. And I'm not trying to find it in myself anymore. I'm not trying to reveal it or expose it. I'm not trying to, change my mind about it. I'm using my perceived reality, my person that I'm associating that concept to, as an excuse to retain it myself and to obsess over it myself. Well, I'm not obsessing over it is often a thing. It's them. They're doing it. They're not willing to change. They did this and they did that, and or they're just not willing to, be wrong, or they think they understand spirituality, or I don't like their religion, or whatever it might be. Instead of, what is it in me that is so upset with this? Why can't I see them purely? Why do I forget that this is Christ in them, that I'm projecting and making them into an excuse for my own condemnation, my own damnation? in physical reality. I think I have to run. I think I have to go away or hide out in my shed to, refrain from exposing that stuff in me. If I really want the healing, then I have to be willing to stay in the muck, the dirt, and clean it up myself, clean myself up, and recognize that it cleans up everything and everyone around me. If everyone around me is not getting clean, also purified, then I'm not actually doing it. So it's always my lesson. I like to say it's always my lesson, and I never have to correct anyone but myself and what I believe. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, that's it. It's only myself. That's why I don't have to go in there and try to clean up somebody else or fix something else that I see outside of me. Yes, exactly. There isn't a them. They are not doing anything. It's impossible for them to do something because they are not they the ones that I see are not really here. That doesn't mean that, I'm saying you don't exist. I'm saying the only you that exists is the you that I see, the you that I know. That's the only you that exists to me. And so it's only me, my own thoughts that need to be cleared, cleaned up. And yeah, in all your travels, Devin, and all the different things that you went through, I'm sure that you had much practice with this, with all these different things everywhere. So, yep, and Dove says, I'm always speaking about myself, and it's only myself that I can heal. It's only myself that I can see as being wrong. It's always myself. And bringing it back to that is the purpose of this course, really, to bring it back to the reality of, whose dream is this? Who is dreaming this dream? Let's see. Oh, we got time to read the next one, maybe not go deep into it, unless somebody has something else about this. Let's go on and read number 4. And to save time, I will read it. How about that? Okay, so it's connected to the last one, so this is good. The miracle is always a denial of this error and an affirmation of the truth. Okay, the miracle is a denial of error and an affirmation of truth. Only right-mindedness can correct in a way that has any real effect. Pragmatically, what has no real effect has no real existence. Its effect then is emptiness. Being without substantial content, it lends itself to projection. And this is because we don't have anything to tie our thoughts to unless we project them out onto something that we see external to ourselves. So the miracle is the affirmation, a denial that the world that I see is real, and an affirmation of my real self, the truth of what I am. And let's see. The world I see, the you I see, the thought I see, it's only a story in my mind. And uh, and Elizabeth says that's the loneliness from complete oneness. God's love all encompassing. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we are. We are the all-encompassing God. Like I said earlier, it's not that I am that. It is that is what I am, and I can't deny my connection to God. I can't deny that what I am is an extension of God. Couldn't exist without God. So the affirmation that only God is real, only love is real, only truth is real, I mean, this is just a discussion of what's real and what's not real. And what's not real, what is real cannot be threatened, and what is unreal doesn't even exist. Herein lies the peace of God, right there. We have a couple minutes. Anybody want to say anything? Well, there we are. This is our go forth and represent this thought that whatever I think I see can only be corrected by correcting my mind about what I see. Don't try to change the world, change your mind about the world. It's all we're being asked to do. And to change our mind about the world is to see that, as Elizabeth said, God's love is all encompassing, all perfection, pure and peace unbroken, eternal, the joy of God and his kingdom, light and joy, sinless. That's the truth. That is the truth. So when my mind tells me something is wrong here, I have to deny that. And, people say, well, if you deny that, you're going to be a bliss mini, whatever they call that. Well, that is not the case. I'm denying the reality of what I think I see. Because, yes, as Dove points out, there is no world. That's the central that is the central teaching of that this course is here for. It's so easy, and yet we become so we become so freaked out about it. We become so thinking that something is really happening here, and there's nothing really happening here. That's a central thought. That's a central teaching. Oh, hey, I see Suzanne is in the Pal Talk room. Can come into the Zoom room, Suzanne, if you want. All right. So.
Oh, she just never left from yesterday.
Oh no, I just saw it says Suzanne DK joined the chat room.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
So she may have been here all night, but it may be just her what do you call it? Her system. All right. So Devin. Okay, here's a question first off. Are we doing the children's edition today? I haven't talked to Oddsy, but she came in like 15 minutes late last week. She came in after we had said, well, we'll just do something else or do it for a different time. So, if she comes in, I guess we will. So, I don't know. But anyway, Devin, are you going to be able to do a meditation for us with that?
Yeah, I've done it before walking around with her, so.
I know I mean, that's how the Holy Spirit just works through. I just imagine if I ever come to, you're in Orem, right? If I ever come to Orem, I'll probably find your house by the glow. I think I have family there. I think I know I have family in the cemetery there. So,
yeah, definitely. Of course, anybody coming through Utah, gotta hit me up, as I say.
Hit you up. All right. All right. I'll put on some music here and hope that it's not.
Hopefully, I sounded better last time because I figured out how to get the mic not cutting me off with the music and stuff. So.
Oh, yeah. No,
Hopefully you
sounded
heard me
really
better.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. I've listened again on the recording. So, yeah. All right. So here we go. This is a DNA repair one. Hello. I must have listened to this one. you hear the music?
Yes. Allowing yourself to relax, and if you can, close your eyes and settle down. Let yourself melt into your chair. Just become totally present here. Taking deep breaths. Allowing your week to wash away. Letting your concerns about if you've done it right or if you're making good choices or any ideas that you have, just surrender them. Letting them go. Letting everything melt away. There's no right way or wrong way. You are who you are. Letting yourself open your mind to greater possibilities, to greater concepts, to greater understandings of yourself. I am willing to learn. I am willing to grow. I am willing to let go of my past. I am willing to become more of what I'm meant to be. I let everything not serving me in this goal surrendered, allowing it to drop away. Any ideas that I'm not good enough simply float away. I am told I could be more than I am. I am willing to be more than I see myself. I embrace my reality. I embrace who I actually am. Letting go of anything to the contrary. Letting go of any definition of myself. Letting go of the structure I see myself as. I am open. I am willing to see my reality, to experience my truth. To experience who God has made me to be. I surrender. I surrender all other ideas. I surrender the definitions of myself. The list of skills that I have, I surrender them. The list of limitations I believe I possess. With this breath, I let them go. I am willing to see myself as God has made me to be. I am willing to see my truth beyond the judgments of myself. I am willing to let go of the list of limitations. The list of skills. The list of talents. And I allow myself to embrace the truth I was created to represent. I allow myself to become the representation I was designed to be. I allow myself to be liberated from my hesitation. With this breath, I surrender all my knowledge. I surrender all of my newfound understanding. All of my great and noble truth. I let it all go. As I choose to represent. As I choose to speak from the guidance of Spirit. As I choose for every step, every thought, and every word to be directed I choose to know that everything, every aspect of myself, everything I do fits right into place. Everywhere I go, I fit into the experience where I've been designed to represent. Where I've been designed to find the truth. Where I've been designed to share, to speak, to awaken, to become. Letting everything be exactly as it's meant to be. As I am a stroke of the painting of the universe. As I am a color in the rainbow. As I am a drop in the ocean. I embrace our reality. I experience our controversy. And I open it to the healing of the world. I am willing to see. I am open to see. I am ready to see. I am willing. I am ready. I am open. I am clear. I am willing. I am ready. I am open. I am clear.